Everybody, welcome to day two of the 5 days live WhatsApp workshop of RLF, which is Restaurant Launch Formula. Today, we are going to cover the first important pillar of restaurant success, which I call as the selecting the right location for your food business. Everybody, type start in the chat box, and we will start going. By the way, let me give a shout out to all the people who are live over here. विनोद, विनय, वैभव, स्वागता, सूरज, सत्या, सचिन, रणधीर, प्रताप, मुकेश, मोहम्मद, महेश, जयंत, गौतम, धीरज, शायन, अयान, अमोल, आकाश. All you people, whoever shared your homework today, I really loved each and everybody. In fact, I have given my feedback also on that. Type yes in the chat box if you can. Just a moment. If you can see my screen. Let me share my screen first. Yeah. Type yes in the chat box if you can see my screen. Yeah. So let's start. So today we are going to cover, as I've told you, one of the most important topics, which is how to choose the right location for your food business. So before we start, let me take care of some things. So let me give you a flashback about yesterday. So yesterday I gave you a brief about my story. I showed you my resorts and restaurants and a little bit about RLF, what is RLF and all. Then we spoke about the power of mindset. Type yes if you remember this. Type yes if you remember this. Then we spoke about believing in yourself, and I made you do a task, and you shared about your reasons why, your goals, your dreams, and your fears and frustrations. I want everybody to be everybody to just a moment. Yeah, I want everybody to take action, and I want everybody to participate in this. Yeah, so that was yesterday. Today we are going to talk about the evolution of food business. What I mean by evolution is how has this restaurant industry and this food industry slowly started, how it started and how it has evolved and how it has become a big industry. I am not going to give you a very deep lecture on this, but I always believe that if you want to know where to go, you have to first understand where you came from. So a little bit of history is always required. Type yes if you agree to this. So we are going to talk about the evolution of food business. Then I will be telling you about the importance of location. You know how many types of so what all is important in a location. And then we are going to talk about how street smart ways, so how winning location is chosen, so kind of like shortcuts of choosing the right location. Yeah, everybody type ready if you are ready for this. Let's start rocking. By the way, everybody can hear me and listen to me clearly. Type clear in the chat box, please. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So let me ask you a question. What are the three most important factors in the success of a food business? I want everybody to participate in this. Type in the chat box, what are the three most important factors in success of a food business? I am very curious to know the answers. All 20 of you who are here, Ayan, Abhijit, Akash, Amol, Shayan, Dhiraj, Gautam, Jayant, Mahesh, Mohammad, Mukesh, Partap, Randhir, Sachin, Satya, Suraj, Swagata, Vinay and Vinod. Everybody, I want everybody to put in what are the three most important things for success of a food business, factors for success of food business. Mohammed is saying dedication. Randir is saying patience. Mohammed is saying dedication, consistent. Sachin is saying consistency of taste, quality, price. Akash is saying location, target audience, and marketing. Mukesh is saying location, type of food business. Mahesh is saying passion. Vinod is saying responsive team, quality. Amol is saying location, test. Okay. Never give up attitude, taste, consumer friendly. Satya is saying, Gautam is saying never give up attitude, location. Shall I? Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Suraj says location. Krishna says passion. Swagata says location, quality, food focus. Shayan is saying taste, quality. Dheeraj is saying location, customer staff. Shayan is saying location, quality. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Randir is saying maintaining good quality, good interaction, customer location, quality. Sachin and Ayan said the three most important factors in the success of the food business are location, location, and location. First is location, second is location, and third is location. If you miss this first most important element in while making your food business, while planning your food business, or while building your food business, nothing else is going to work. And this is one rule which I want you to drill down in your head. Take a hypothetical driller, imaginary driller, drill in your head and put this in your head if you want to start a food business. Everybody type yes in the chat box if you understand this thing. And I am going to prove to you why location is important. Everything starts and ends with a location. If you have got the second best location, third best location, fourth best location, you have lost the advantage compared to if you have had a first class location of the first best location. So why is location important? It is the jungle safari principle. I call it as the jungle safari principle. How many of you have gone for a jungle safari? Type yes in the chat box. So most of the jungle safaris which happen, it might be the nearby Delhi, what is that? Some jungle safari, the Tadoba and everywhere. Most of the time, lot of jungle safari guys cannot see even one single animal, and there is a real reason for that. So a lot of times people go, they waste their 3 hours, 4 hours going into a jeep or kuch nahi dikhta hai, and that guide is just showing you, ye dekh, see the pug marks of a tiger, see the pug marks of a elephant and all that crap. So I'll tell you, near our resort, near our Kamath Residency resort, we have a jungle, small jungle called as Fansad, and it is nearby Murud Janjira in Ratnagiri. And that Fansad jungle, we used to do safaris when people used to stay at our place. Now, of course, the jungle safari is banned by the Supreme Court, but that time people used to stay at our resort and then they used to go for jungle safaris. There are two times when you can see almost all the animals in the jungle which are coming at one place, and that is at 7 o'clock in the morning and at 4 o'clock in the evening. That is the time when all the animals come to drink water in the pond. Type yes if you agree to this. Even Discovery Channel, a lot of times they are showing the animals nearby pond, because that is the time when all the animals come to the pond to drink water. So we used to do jungle safaris exactly at 7 o'clock or at 4 o'clock in the evening, where we used to show them all the animals and all, and from a longer distance, of course, not nearby. So the same principle applies to importance of a location for your food business. Always choose a spot where all your potential customers are coming together at one location to do one or the other kind of activity. Type agree in the chat box if you understand this simple yet most overlooked factor in the food business. When you choose a location which is a location where already there are a lot of people coming in, then the success of your food business goes high as ever, because the probability of chances of success of your food business rises by hundreds of percentages. Yeah. So you have to think like a jungle safari. You have to think as if you are going to, you have to think like a predator, basically. What I mean by predator is a lion or a tiger. You know, a lot of times they go for a shikar when the deer is having some water or it is sitting somewhere nearby. And, you know, then that is the time when it goes and it attacks on a herd of deers, and one or the other deer is slow and then it grabs it. So I hope, I know it is a very cruel example, but it has got a resemblance. That's why I took this example. So what is our main goal in this business? A lot of times, a lot of people who are opening a restaurant lose the idea of why they are opening a restaurant. The number one reason why we are opening this is to make profits. MP, make profits. Type MP in the chat box if you understand this. This is our goal. A lot of times people choose a location based on rent. You know, we have to have less rent as possible. Jitna kam rent rahega, utna paisa bachega. But what happens is the lesser the rent, the more poor is the significance of the location, and people tend to choose a very loser kind of a location where, you know, rent is less but there is no footfall, there are no people, there is no market, there is no ST stand, there is no mall, there is nothing, and then people wonder कि अभी मेरा धंधा क्यों नहीं हो रहा है. अरे, you have to be, I mean, so common sense is kind of like a very uncommon. Everybody following up till now, type yes in the chat box. I hope I'm not going too fast. Thank you everybody. So the jungle safari principle, think like a predator, and the main goal is MP, make profits. Yeah, there is nothing else. If you want to run a you know, charitable organization, then it's a different topic. But otherwise, the main goal is to make money. So topic 3 is how it all started. Now let me take you back a little bit, like 50 or 100 years here. We will do this briefly. 100 years back, type yes in the chat box if you have watched those cowboy movies, you know, those Quentin Tarantino's or those other cowboy movies. So 100 years back, there was no concept as a restaurant as such. It was kind of like an all-in-one concept. It was called as a inn, or they were called as inns, or they were called as taverns, or they were called as haberdasheries. So just a moment. Let me take care of this. I think I have something stuck. Give me a moment, guys. Give me a moment, yeah? Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry. So, 100 years back, then they were called as haberdasheries or inns, you know, where it was an all-in-one kind of a concept. Remember in Sholay and all, when the horse riders used to come, or the cowboys and all, Sholay, or maybe in the US, the cowboys and all, they used to stop at a place where there was a place to kind of like a stable outside to tie your horse, and he can drink water and have some grass. You go inside, you have food to eat also, as well as you have a place to stay. It was kind of like an all-in-one business model. But then what happened is machines were invented, textile machines were invented, factories started forming in cities, and that is how there was a huge need of after industrialization, there was a huge need of staff from rural areas, from Gao and all, towards the cities, because cities started forming, and that is where you started there was a need for people to, there was a need for feeding people. You know, you needed breakfast, you needed, because people had left their houses and they had come to stay, they were staying as paying guests, they were staying as, you know, staff and all in staff quarters. So there was a need to have tea, there was a need to have breakfast, there was a need to have lunch, evening snacks, dinner. And that is how the birth of the restaurant business came into existence. Everybody type yes in the chat box if you agree to this. So then that is where basic essential restaurant like Tambi restaurants, chai ka dhaba, and dhabas and all those things started happening, because the cities, huge population started coming and started working in cities. So it was a need from morning early 5:30 6 o'clock chai chahiye, 8:30 ko nashta chahiye, kanda poha, bada pav, misal, paratha, or whatever, dhokla, khandwa, whatever. Then evening, then you need a thali, so that people can fill their stomach in a reasonable rate. Evening ko then you needed some chaat and all. So these are all the requirements. So after industrialization, cities started forming, industries were needed to feed mill workers, construction workers, residential population, floating population, etc. Now, after that, what happened is, so that is how the evolution of food business started. The food business earlier was based on need. That is, it was needed for the huge number of people to feed themselves. But slowly and steadily, as the workers, their generation of the workers, first generation, second generation, third generation started studying, and they started going to jobs, IT jobs, BPO jobs, and all the others. They started earning. They became financially independent. They had a lot of money. They had a lot of credit and all. Then the business slowly evolved from need-based business to want-based business. Let me explain to you what. It started with simple basic food outlets. Now, my Dadaji started a restaurant and it didn't have a very, very big menu. It had a simple, laddu and misal pav, vada pav and chai coffee, one thali, and that's it. We didn't have Indian, we didn't have Chinese, we didn't have Italian, we didn't have Mexican, we didn't have any other burger, pizza, pasta, whatever, nothing was there. So food offerings went from basic to complex in this 50 years, because the need of the customer slowly started converting into want. It went from basic, essential to luxury. Everybody is understanding this. Type yes in the chat box. The more money you have in your pocket, the more you can spend on your wants compared to your need. The less money you have in your pocket, the less you can spend on your wants. You have to spend more on your needs. So need is basically, your rent is a need, your minimum whatever groceries and essentials you require is a need. But let's say you have a higher disposable income. Disposable income means whatever your current basic requirements are. Apart from that, if you have a lot of money which is extra, then you can spend it on your luxuries. You can buy a car, you can buy you can order home delivery. So it is kind of like a need versus want, which you have to balance. So food offerings went from basic to complex as the requirement started changing. Evolution from need-based restaurants to want-based food businesses. And decor went from medium. If you could have seen a basic decor of a 1980 restaurant, it was a plain restaurant with simple walls, one tube light, and that's it. But now the decor has become very, very intricate. AC, Wi-Fi, this and that. You have sports bar, you have lounge bars. There are so many concepts which have come in the market, because there is a demand based on for all these concepts. Yeah. So restaurant industry is a complex industry as of now. Multiple concepts serving a variety of food products to different types of target clientele. If you want breakfast, you have a restaurant. If you want lunch, you have a restaurant. If you want evening snacks, you have a restaurant. If you want dinner, you have a restaurant. If you want lounge, you have a restaurant. If you want to order home, you have cloud kitchens. If you want midnight meal, you have a restaurant. If you want to have fun, just chill out, you have casual dining bars also. So multiple concepts have come because there are different types of concepts. By the way, tomorrow I am going to discuss all these concepts in detail, so you don't have to worry. Now you will find food at almost every price point of almost all cuisines at almost all, more or less all the types of locations. So type yes in the chat box. If you want a vada pav at 12 rupees, you will get it. If you want a vada pav at 900 rupees, you will get it. If you want a pasta at 30 rupees, you will get it. If you want a pasta at 300 rupees, you will get it. If you want a pizza at 50 rupees, you will get it. If you want a pizza at 500 rupees, you will get it. So basically, every price point, you have different types of food which are available. You just have to choose which type of where you fit in and which type of food you want to buy from which type of outlet. So with the start of home kitchens and delivery kitchens, the question of locational advantage has diminished a little bit. It has not gone for a toss completely, but compared to a restaurant, a cloud kitchen or a home kitchen, the importance of location has gone down a little bit, because you can open a cloud kitchen almost anywhere. And of course, there are a lot of pros and cons to a cloud kitchen also, which I would like to speak tomorrow. So, yeah, everybody following up till now, loving this? Type love in the chat box. Give me some love. Thanks everybody. Thanks Pratap, Mukesh, Sachin, Ayan, Vaibhav, Riaz. Loving this. Great. Let's move ahead. So why is location important? Thirsty person always looks for water. Hungry person always looks for food. Success is guaranteed if both are at a place where, both are at a place and you have what they want. So let me ask you a question, and I want everybody to answer this. Let's say you open a beautiful restaurant in front of a slum area. Do you think it is going to succeed? You have hungry and thirsty people there in front of a slum area. Do you think a good restaurant will succeed? So there are 4 reasons which are required for a person to succeed in your restaurant business. One is a thirsty and hungry customer. Third is they should have money in their wallet. Let me show you your wallet. They should have money in your wallet, and they should have, the fourth and most important aspect is they should have a willingness to spend that money. Even if they have money in their wallet and they don't have the willingness to spend their money, your concept is not going to work. So all we need is hungry customers with money in their wallet and willingness to spend. This is simple yet most ignored topic by many people, and the number one reasons why restaurant fail. A lot of times restaurant owners are targeting the wrong customers, and that is why they are not able to succeed in this food business. So you always have to go for people who are a higher disposable income kind of people. So type of locations to consider: thickly populated locations where there is a lot of population moving in and out, like opposite railway stations, bus depots, metros, etc. People coming to spend money, like markets, malls, shops, complex, superstores, theaters. People coming to study in universities, classes, colleges, or visiting patients in hospitals, nursing homes, etc. Where there is a mass movement of in and out of customers, that is where you should ideally locate your food business. Location in between a lot of residential complexes, shops, commercial complexes, offices, and in-premise canteens, food court locations in malls, offices, schools, colleges, universities. So you always have to choose high potential locations, because that is what will help you to win this game. So once you match the location with the right target clientele, magic starts happening and your restaurant starts taking off, because you have literally opened a food business in front of a Bheti Ganga, in front of a river. So you just have to pick the customers, and they will give you money, and they are hungry, they are thirsty, they have money in their wallet, they will give you money. You just have to, your cash register will not stop ringing. Yeah. So how will you choose a location? Very, very important question. Don't choose one location. Whenever I am working on my new restaurant, I always choose 5 potential locations. What I mean by a location is if you choose just one location, you don't have any other thing to compare that location with. Type yes if you agree to this. So I always choose 5 locations, and I give all the 5 locations different marks, because then it is easy for me to compare. You can compare the rent, you can compare the deposit, you can compare the potential of the customers, you can compare what is already sold in the market and what is not been sold in the market. You can compare the price point of that location. So all these things are only possible if you select 5 or 10 locations. The more the number of locations, the better. So if you are, let's say for example, staying in Dadar area in Mumbai, you can choose couple of locations nearby where it is easy for you to go, but choose at least 5 to 7 or 10 locations instead of just choosing one location. Now look at restaurants like a CID. What I mean by CID is, just as a doctor watches an X-ray, you have to look at a restaurant. You can find out all the metrics of what a restaurant requires, like what is the daily sale. You can make friends with the waiter. All the waiters know what is the sale of a restaurant. And once you make friends with him by going to that restaurant again and again and tipping him nicely, he will tell you what is the sale, what is the salary, how many people are there, what is the rent, what is the deposit. He will tell you everything. And in fact, you can also make it out what is the monthly sale, when is the higher, how much is the rent, deposit, staff salary, electricity bill, when is the restaurant crowded, is it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or is it Monday to Friday, which. So you have to do kind of like a comparative analysis on this, and you have to look as if you are Karamchand. So, and which type of food is he selling, what is it cost, what is the misal pav costing, what is the vada pav costing, what is his highest selling item, what is his lowest selling item. So these all things you have to see. So do the homework so that you can reap the benefits later. The more research you do earlier, the more information you have to take the right decision, and then it becomes easy for you to go out there and choose the right location. So here is your homework. Now I understand that everybody is stuck in their homes for Corona, but now the lockdown is open. So imagine imagine that I am giving you 50 lakh rupees tomorrow to open your own restaurant. What will your location look like? So imagine 1 to 2 years from now, you are starting a food business and your money is already arranged. Which 5 different types of potential locations will you choose? Now type yes in the chat box if you have confidence that, now since we are moving around, since you are in the RLF live workshop, that means you have had a certain understanding of different types of food businesses. So different, identify different. I want you to in today's homework, after I open up the WhatsApp group today, I want you to give me 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, whatever different locations where you think a good food business will work well. So 5 locations. Then second is, why would these locations be good? What is special in these locations? How many target customers are there? What are the premises? Are there any societies? Are there any offices? Are there any places to visit? How many current restaurants existing? So you have to always look at, if there are current restaurants there. If there are no current restaurants, that means that location is not good. It is not proven. So if a restaurant is doing well, I believe if you have another restaurant, it has more chances of doing well because it is a proven spot. The more number of restaurants at a location, the more customers will come to that location. So how many current restaurants, food businesses are operating there? How many target clientele, premises, offices, and staying visit? And please understand, you just have to take your time, imagine about this and write. I don't want you to go out there and start researching. It is whatever experience you have up till now, use that experience. And the reason why I am making you do this is that you start thinking like a restaurant owner. Type yes in the chat box if you understand this. Once you start thinking like a restaurant owner, your brain starts working, and then you start getting information and start researching and start looking for that particular kind of information. So how many current restaurants, food businesses are there? And out of 100 marks, how much marks will you give to that location? And for existing food business owners, if you are already there, where would you like to expand? So I saw the tiffin, somebody has started a tiffin restaurant, somebody is already in a restaurant, working in a restaurant. So if you are already existing food business owners, another thing which I would like you to add is, where would you like to expand? Because a lot of people in my RLF live class and my coaching community already own their own restaurant. So then I always tell them that, where would your next restaurant be? Why would you choose that restaurant? What would be the potential location there? What would be the good location and all those things? So you have to post it in that group. different locations, what is special about that location, what's nearby, current restaurants or food businesses, and marks out of 100, what you are going to give to that, and what will be the best marks you can give out of that location. So great, Riaz. If you're opening a restaurant, then this is the ideal thing for you to do. So what's tomorrow? So now I have come to the end of today's session. Tomorrow we will talk about different concepts and which one suits your location. And I have a very, very powerful activity for you tomorrow, which if you are not able to do, that will prove that you are not made for the food business. You will not open a restaurant if you are not going to. So it's a very simple activity. Please don't worry. I'm not going to tell you to dance or do something like that. I'm going to just tell you to do a very simple activity. But if you're not able to do that activity, that means you're not cut out for this food business, for any type of food business. Because I have seen from the past 3 years, whoever has done that activity has gone out and opened a successful food business of your own. So this is a very, very surprise activity which I'm going to tell you to do tomorrow. And you are going to love that. So with that said, let's finish today's session and start the question and answer session. I hope everybody loved today's session. Type love in the chat box. I'm going to paste this homework today in the group and open the group so that you can go ahead and paste. Please know one thing. I will keep the group open till next day morning at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. Please do your homework till that, because after that we have to get ready for the next day. So I cannot keep the group open till evening, because I have to paste a lot of other stuff there for you to know about the next day's live session. So the group will stay open till 1 o'clock tomorrow. And I want everybody of you, all of you who have, Akash Paul is saying he has not been added in the group. I am so sorry, Akash, didn't know that. Just a moment, let me get hold of the link, and you can just click the link. And all of you who have not joined the group, this is a, just a moment, where did it go? Yeah. Everybody just go to this link and join the WhatsApp group. Yeah, check in the chat section. So this is the homework. Let's start today's question and answer session. Thank you so much for your love. Really, really appreciate and respect the love which you are showering on me. Vaibhav, Randir, Sachin, Dheeraj, Ayan, Shayon, Riaz, Amol, Krishna, Abhijit, Vinay, Partap, Mukesh, Vinod, Gautam, Suraj, Akash, and two ways to ask me question. First is, if you want directly to talk to me, type live in the chat box. I will unmute you and we will talk face to face. That is number one. Number two is, if you're feeling shy or if you don't want to come live, you can type Q, type in capital Q and type your question. I will read it out and I will answer to the best of my abilities. Yeah, let's do this. I'll give you 2-3 minutes to do either of the things. If you type Q in the chat box, it becomes easy for me to locate your question, and then I can read it out and answer to the best of my abilities. Type Q and then ask a question. Type your question also. And if you want to come live, type live in the chat box, LIVE. Let's start taking some questions. Akash, I believe you must have joined the WhatsApp group. The link is given in the chat section. Vinod is asking what factors one should look at to open a cloud kitchen. Beautiful question, Vinod. The same things which you have to look at while opening any other restaurant. Your location, your concept, your target clientele, these three are necessary at all. Which type of target clientele are you going to go after? Which area are you going to select? Like, for example, today I discussed about the location. Why do you think that location is important? Why is it potential? That is the first thing. After opening that, then you have to go for licensing, you have to go for a little bit of civil, you have to go for kitchen planning, you have to then order your kitchen equipment, you have to set up your inventory system, you have to set up your marketing system, you have to create a brand, you have to create your menu, you have to go after, you have to do the staffing, you have to go for the food trial. So these all things are covered in my RLF coaching program, but since you asked me, I'm telling you. So these all are the factors which are required for you to open a successful cloud kitchen. I hope that answers your question, Vinod. And type yes in the chat box if that really resonates with you. Krishna is saying, what is our homework? I attended this late. So Krishna, the homework is, uh, let me show you what is the homework. The homework I will paste. You can go through this video again. I will paste the recording. And the homework is you have to come up with, you have to tell me what will be your favorite 5 to 10 locations in your nearby area where you think a good food business will work. And then why are they good locations? What is what is good in that locations? Are there any restaurants nearby? Are there any residential areas nearby? Are there any offices? Are there any colleges? Are there any universities? Why do you think is the location important? Thirdly, which successful restaurants are already working in that area? And fourthly, how much marks are you going to give in for that particular location? I'm going to paste all these questions after we finish today's session. Suraj, sorry, Krishna, don't worry. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Krishna, type yes in the chat box, please. Suraj is asking, what is the future of restaurant business and cloud kitchen or cloud kitchen? I think both of the concepts have very good future. Cloud kitchen is fairly a new concept, around 5 to 8 years in, especially after Zomato and Swiggy entered the marketplace. So that is also going to do well. But restaurants are also going to do well because people need to come out, people need to have food. Also, they need a different experience. So every time if you keep on ordering food at your house, you will start getting bored because we require variety. So restaurants will also be there, but restaurants will be far more pricier compared to cloud kitchen because when you're ordering from home, it is kind of like a wholesale deal. And if you're going to a restaurant, it is kind of like a retail experience. So I believe that is thing. But I mean, food business is one business which is never going to die because there is no technology which will stop making you feel hungry. So we humans are kind of like every 2 hours to 4 hours we want something to eat. So I think that's why the future is endless and very very potential. I hope that answers your question. Suraj, type yes in the chat box. If you want to come live, please type live. Vinod is saying Suraj has written Q. Okay, I want the questions to be typed after the Q. Suraj Partap. I hope both of you understand this. Vinod is asking what factors should you. Okay, so I've already answered that. Akash wants to come live. Let's take Akash live. Akash. Akash has been asking really nice questions. Love it. Akash, please unmute yourself, buddy. Hi.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Did you love today's session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me, how can I help you?
Sir, actually, in Kolkata, there are a few locations which are the hubs for restaurants. Like in Mumbai, you have that Amboli Naka area where there is Delhi Darbar, Persian Darbar. So there are a few areas where it's a hub for the restaurants. But the thing is, first of all, it's very costly. The rent is very costly. And the bigger problem is there are some big giants, like really big giants. So there will be a cutthroat competition. So how would I tackle that? Because they would do
Big
anything.
big giants means I didn't get it.
Big giants in the restaurant area. I mean, there are a few restaurants like the Arsalan, Aminia. There are some big restaurants which are the giants in Kolkata market. So, I mean, they would do anything to get me out of their track. So, how will I tackle that?
I don't think any restaurant owner or any restaurant brand works on shutting off the competition or making them run. because that is frankly speaking not possible. If you are focusing on your own business,
Okay.
then and if you are giving good quality food, good service to customers, eventually you will find success. Now the question which you asked is very relevant, that proven concepts have
Yeah.
got a proven locations have the rental is pretty high. So there
Yeah,
are
and they
two.
have a big, they are a big branch, and they have a big brand value. So why would the customers choose me? I mean, in front of them.
Sure, that's a very good question. Let me answer that question, Akash.
Okay.
So what will happen is, let's say, for example, you have a location where there are 4 or 5 restaurants which are serving different kinds of food. So what you have to do is, in your menu, you have to give 50% of the food which is already eaten in the market, which these all people are already serving, like maybe Indian, Chinese, something like that. And 50% you should give something which is unique in the market. So that is what will attract the customers
Okay.
who are already coming. So, for example, I'll tell you, I had set up a restaurant in Chiplun where the restaurant was opposite a college. So, we did a mixture of KFC, Domino's, and McDonald's. So, we
Okay.
served burgers, we served pizzas, we served sandwiches, and Subways. So, it was kind of like a mixture. And we started giving chicken shawarma there.
Okay.
So you have to find a pocket which is not already sold in the market. So that is one thing. The people who are going to all these different restaurants
Yeah.
will always look for something new because
Yeah.
they will get bored. अरे क्या
Yeah.
3 महीने से वही restaurant में जा रहे हैं, whatever names you took. So
Yeah.
this will be an attracting factor. Second thing which you can do, since the rental are higher, is you can choose a smaller place
Yeah.
so that the rent is less, and you can increase your tenure, because if your tenure is 5 or 10 years, whatever, I think there is a lot of disturbance which is coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, please reduce that. I cannot talk. So you can increase the tenure, and you can sign a lease for a longer tenure, so that even if you are paying high, you once you start making the success, you can get back your money and you can take care of the profits. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Did it answer
Thanks.
your question?
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay. All the best. All the best. Yeah. God bless. So that was awesome talking to Akash. It's a good question, by the way. Very, very powerful question. Loved it. So Satya is asking, is there a place where I can purchase restaurant inventory? Beautiful question. By the way, on Friday, when I am going to open up registrations for my RLF coaching program, I'm going to solve this problem for you. But you can find all the vendors online also, and you can find kitchen equipment manufacturers, restaurant. You can, in fact, even buy second-hand restaurant equipment also. So there is no individual place as such, but you have to find the requirements online. You can go and join the online groups of restaurants and all those things, so that you can get information on where you can get all the inventory. Now, if you're talking about food material inventory, you have to buy it from wholesale markets, not from retail market like DMart or More or something like that, or Big Bazaar. You have wholesale markets, and you have APMC markets and all, where you can go and buy in bulk and at very, very cheaper quantities. I hope that answers your question. Satya, type yes in the chat box. Suraj, I have already answered your question. What is the future of restaurant business? Gautam is asking, how can our restaurant stand out where similar restaurants are always close by in the small city? Gautam, beautiful question. The focus should be more on your visibility. That is the signage. That is one thing. Even if you have similar kind of restaurants nearby, you can always come with different packages, and always come with different offers, so that people, so offers are always new. And if the other person is just giving a normal kind of food, and if you come up with a different package, if you come up with a different offer, then people will be attracted towards your offer. And you can always renovate, and if you want to attract more customers, you can give them a different decor. So decor is one thing, visibility is one thing, and whatever food you're offering, if it is unique and something different, people will be attracted towards you, as honeybees are attracted towards their comb, or towards their that queen bee. I hope that answers your question, Gautam. Type yes in the chat box. So there, it is a two-way kind of a thing. Your visibility should be awesome so that people get attracted. What you're offering should be unique in the market. And if you are servicing the nearby areas for home deliveries and all, then you come with unique packages which will help you to give your customers something different. So by the way, everybody, I am going to today give you a bonus recording of my mastermind session. Apart from this video, I am going to give you a kind of like a sneak peek, kind of like a sneak peek into my mastermind session discussion, which is on a different level, where all the people are working on their businesses. And in that call, you will see my students have got success by implementing these strategies. In fact, one of the home kitchen owner she has reached around 50 or 60,000 rupees in 15 days, and another is, I think, earning around 70-80,000 rupees a month from home, opening their home kitchen. And that is possible by implementing these different strategies. So I hope that answers your question. Gautam, please type yes in the chat box so that I know that you got what you wanted, or ask me any other question if you have. Amol is asking, franchisees or own shop, kaun sa better hai? Beautiful question, Amol. I think instead of franchisee, if you ask me, khud ka kholna is always better because you have more control. You don't pay extra in brand fees, royalties, and monthly recurring charges. You are not dependent on your franchisee for all these things. You can tweak and turn whatever you want, you can give in the market. If you are dependent on franchisees, then if the customer is asking for, let's say, sitafal milkshake, and it is not in your menu, the company is not going to tell you to offer them sitafal milkshake. But if it is your brand, you can sell whatever the hell you want. So that's why. And I think since you have 100% ownership of your brand, you can then go out and start franchising. So I think your own is always better than franchising. I hope that answers your question. Amol, type yes in the chat box. Riaz has asked, sir, how to select goods. Hey, by the way, everybody is loving this. Type love in the chat box if this is helpful for everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. Really love it. Riaz is asking, let me shut on the AC. Riaz is asking, sir, how to select good staff? Beautiful question, Riaz. Staff selection, I will tell you how to select. But more than that, you have to focus on how to retain your good staff. So staff selection, I used 4 or 5 techniques. First is, if you want to select a lot of staff, let's say you need 5-10 people, then I give ads in local regional language newspapers so that people, and then if it is a tier 2 city or a tier 3 city, then we can hang banners on top, vacancy for restaurant staff, and your mobile number. People will call you. You can then start taking their CVs, and whatever are the experienced people, you can put them. All the needy people will come to you. And so that is one way. Giving ads in local regional newspapers is another way. Third is regional language, not Times of India. Regional language people. If it is Bengali regional language people. If it is Marathi regional language. If it is Punjabi regional language. Because people who are reading Times of India or posh high level people who are not going to. So these are jobs for layman and for kind of like unskilled labor. So that is always good if you go for local newspapers, regional language. They will be cheaper also. And thirdly, I post a requirement on online portals and online free networks and free forums on Facebook and Instagram, so that people can directly contact me or my students if they are needing any staff. But the more important question is, why you should not be in a position where you always are in need of good staff, and you will reach that position if you start taking care of your staff very nicely. You pay them on time, you give them respect. Now, of course, there are a couple of over smart staff people who will act very, very bossy and all. You have to kick their butts, unko bhaga dene ka. But really good, genuine staff, if you get, you take care of them as your family, you care for them, you pay them on time, you give them rest. That should make them feel as if they are owning the business and they are working for you in your family. And that is where they will not leave your place, and you will not be in constant requirement of having staff every month now and then. I hope that answers your question, Riaz. Type yes in the chat box. Vinay Gajdane, GAJ. गजदाने जी हे सेइंग, नवीन फूड बिझनेस सुरुवातीच्या काळात कोणत्या गोष्टी टाळाव्यात? ब्युटिफुल क्वेश्चन. व्हॉट शुड यू अवॉइड इनिशियली व्हेन यू हैव स्टार्टेड न्यू रेस्टोरेंट? फ्री में खाना बांटना, दोस्तों को बुला के पार्टी देना, पैसे ज्यादा स्टॉक भर के रखना व्हेन इन्वेस्टिंग लॉट ऑफ मनी एंड पुटिंग लॉट ऑफ स्टॉक. Thirdly, overspending money, thinking that, now the restaurant is opened, it will make profit. So you have to be kind of like a conjuice, and your daily expenses should be 30 to 40% of your daily income. So that is one. And नवीन सुरुवातीच्या काळात आणि स्टाफचं मॅनेज करणं, टेकिंग गुड केअर ऑफ स्टाफ, टॉकिंग टू युअर कस्टमर्स, letting them know what all things you are selling, because unless and until your customer doesn't know what you are selling, they will not order from you. And focusing on customer, reducing your wastage, very important. They पण far important. I hope that answers your question, Vinay. Type yes in the chat box. Partap is saying, I want to ask about menu card setup in small restaurant. It's a good question, Partap. Menu can be set up depending on which type of food you want to serve to your customer. Is it breakfast? Is it evening snacks? Is it lunch? Is it dinner? Is it midnight dinner? And after that, if it is a breakfast, two things are very important. What are you giving for breakfast and what are you giving for beverages? So breakfast mein kya rahega? Kanda poha, vada pav, batata vada, chai, and then chai, coffees for beverages. Cold drinks is for beverages. If you want lunch, which type of, are you going for a la carte or are you going for thali system? A la carte is basically plate wise. So you can go for Punjabi dishes. So if you want to, frankly speaking, get good idea, pick up 5 or 10 menus of different types of restaurants, pick up their home delivery menus and just study them. You will get an idea how to set up, get inspirations from them, put in whichever item you want to put and start going to them. By the way, Partap, I am going to focus on how to get a winning menu formula on the last day of the live class. So you have to be there, because there you will get an idea of how to choose a menu which will ensure that you will make a lot of profits in the market. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Partap. Type yes in the chat box. Sachin is saying, what are the key considerations to be taken into account for a takeaway? Sachin is asking. The best thing is location. You should be located in a place where there is a huge crowd which is moving in and out, especially on the road to the railway station or back on the road to the railway station, because that is where people will go in and out, and there should be no bridge on the top, or there should be no bridge in front of your place. So it should be a place where huge number of volume of population is moving in and out. That is where they will, first of all, discover you as a takeaway, start ordering from you, and then your visibility and your signages and your board and your menu can be kind of like an attracting factor for them. Sachin, I hope that answers your question. Take an example of the Jumbo Vada Pav. Their locations are always based in front of railway stations, or that Bikaner shops and stuff like that. Their locations are always based in front of high footfall locations, and that is where you crack this takeaway so that you can get maximum orders when people are leaving for their jobs, and as well as when people are leaving back. And then secondly, you have to do a lot of marketing and let other people in the residential area know that you are staying there. I hope that answers your question, Sachin. Type yes in the chat box, please, if you get what you wanted. Swagata is saying, how to get funding easily for a restaurant? Swagata, beautiful question. I believe that funding is one of the easiest thing to get in today's day and age. In fact, in my RLF coaching program, I have literally covered how you can raise finance without mortgaging anything. So you can, of course, you can get that. So funding is very, very easy, and there are a lot of government schemes. There are a lot of offers and schemes which have been floated by government organization and all, which can get you around 5, 10 lakhs, 15, 20 lakh rupees like this. So I don't think it's a very hard thing to get. But ideally, if you're going for funding, you should have 25-30% of the money, your own money, which is ready if you want to take a dip into this funding game. The reason is, if you cannot go 100% funding, because then your business will not be able to take the load. So always remember, you should have 25% of the total project cost. And after that, you can go for the other 75% and start the business. I hope that answers your question. Swagata, type yes in the chat box. Suraj is asking, what is the future of restaurant business, cloud kitchen or regular restaurant? Suraj, I have already answered this question, my friend. You can watch the recording. I've already answered. By the way, the future is great. Everything is going to work awesome. I'm not telling you because I own a couple of restaurants, because I'm seeing that once the economy opens up, lockdown is open and all, everything starts becoming normal, and restaurants are thriving like anything. Yeah. Riyaj is asking, what should be the minimum profit percentage of any dish? Don't look at one dish profit percentage, Riyaz. Look at the monthly profits on the overall sale. Ideally, the profit is in between 25 to 35% of the total sale. So ideally, one dish profit might be less or more depending on the demand and supply of that dish on that particular day, and the wastage which is happening in order to make that. Let's say, for example, you are selling pav bhaji. One day you sold 100 pav bhajis, next day you sold 10 pav bhajis. So next day the profit will not be that high. So don't get confused by checking one dish. Look at a 30,000 feet and take into consideration ki what is my monthly sale, what is my monthly expenses, how much is my gross profit, and how much is my net profit. I hope that answers your question. Riaz, type yes in the chat box, please. Are you guys typing yes in the chat box or no? Okay, you are. Yeah, thank you. Vaibhav is asking, as we are about to open home kitchen for the moment, should we go for food delivery apps such as Zomato, DotPay, and how many people require to start a home kitchen? How many people require to start a home kitchen? Even one person can start a home kitchen. And should we go for branding at the moment? Vaibhav, if you're just starting your home kitchen, two things which you have to do. Firstly, you have to join my RLF coaching program, because that is going to help you a lot. You have to see today's bonus session where two of my students have cracked 50,000 and 1 lakh rupees in a month in home kitchen itself. But that is not the point. Second point is, so you can use DotPay or Zomato or Swiggy if they are allowing you to give deliveries from their platform. Usually in cities, these type of Zomato, Swiggy are not allowing home kitchens to operate because they want people. So in some areas they are offering, people who have FSSAI license, they are offering, but then you require a society's permission also, so that because the riders will come and they will take your food, there will be a lot of people who will be coming in your flat or wherever you are staying. So if you're staying in a standalone bungalow or a row house, that is a different thing. But if you're staying in a society, the Zomato, Swiggy people will ask you for a society NOC. They have a standard format which they will get. So try to go on Zomato, DotPay, Swiggy on the website, on their support. After you have got an FSSAI license, and start applying, tell them that I want to sell food on your platform. And if they are taking you, I think you should go for it. Just adjust the pricing by adding a top up of their commissions as well as the packaging. Yeah. And you don't need to start your branding immediately, because you don't have to spend more money. Your name is your brand, the owner's name, as well as what the food you are offering. So let's say, for example, you are offering Kerala food. So Vaibhav Nayar's Kerala delicacies or something like that. You can come up with it. And down the line, once you start making money, then you can go out there and you can crack this thing. I hope that answers your question. Once you start making a 20, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 a month, then you can start making logos and websites and all those things. Initially, you don't require that. Yeah. Riyaz is saying, is interior decoration important? If it is a restaurant where customers are going to come, and if you want to charge a little bit higher than what other people are charging, then you can go for a little bit good interior decorations. If you are targeting customers and if you're selling very, very economical food, then you don't require that kind of an interior decoration. So you have to first decide which type of target clientele you are going to go after. Then you can decide whether that place requires interiors or no. You cannot create a very, very posh restaurant and sell 12 rupees or 15 rupees or 20 rupees misal pav. That will be underutilization of the place and wasting of capital expenditure. I hope that answers your question, Riaz. Type yes in the chat box, please. Sachin is asking, should one consider taking a franchise route, especially for all those who are not having any prior background in the restaurant business before one branches out on your own? Sachin, beautiful question. My RLF coaching program and RLF 5-day WhatsApp class is made for people who don't have any experience in this field. So if you want to pay lakhs of rupees for franchisee brands, because they are not going to give you the franchisee for free, they are going to charge you money. And even if they tell you it is free, they are going to make sure that they remove the money through contractors or through suppliers or through kitchen equipment and all. So instead of paying lakhs of rupees there, I strongly suggest you to wait till Friday and go for my RLF coaching program, because there I will teach you how to create a restaurant business from scratch and own that brand yourself, so that one day down the line, once you make that thing successful, you can go out and franchise and make a lot of money. I hope that answers your question, Sachin. Experience, if you don't have, you have to be in my community. It is very easy for you to go and take a franchisee because it always looks like the easiest route to go. You just have to cut a check and the franchisee will come and it will create the restaurants. But what after that? How much it is going to cost you in the running? It is like buying a Mercedes versus buying a Maruti. The operating cost is higher, the servicing is higher, it eats a lot of thing, maintenance jada hai, and the thing is high. If you have your own restaurant, you don't have to pay royalties, you don't have to pay brand fee, you don't have to depend on other brand. You can do whatever you want, you can tweak and turn your product, you can create your own identity. I hope that answers your question, Sachin. Type yes in the chat box, please. Satya is saying yes, Gautam is saying yes. Okay, Suraj is saying sorry, no problem, buddy. Okay, so Sachin is saying thank you. Vinay is saying thank you. Most welcome. Riyaj is saying thank you. Vaibhav is saying fruitful. Okay. Satya wants to come live. Let's take Satya live. Okay. So we will take Satya and Suraj's question, and then we will finish today's session. Because I have my RLF coaching program Mastermind, which I do every Tuesday. Mastermind means just kind of like a live call which we have at 8 o'clock. So, by the way, I'm going to give you a bonus, as I've told you, a bonus video so that you can see what happens in my members area after you join my RLF coaching program. Satya wants to come live. Satya, S-A-T-Y. Okay. Satya ji, please unmute yourself. Hello. How are you? Cannot hear you. Satya, please unmute yourself. Satya, please unmute yourself. Satya Viravali. Beautiful
Yes.
name. Hi, how are you?
Very good, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Where are you from?
I'm from Andhra Pradesh.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Amazing. I hope you're loving today's session. Yeah?
Definitely. That's really helpful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please go ahead. Go ahead with your question. Yeah.
My question is about this registration thing, FSSAI, and then what about the shopper license or the Gumasta license, something like that you have mentioned in one of your YouTube video.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking like sole proprietorship. I'm looking for a small non-AC restaurant here. So,
Yeah.
but the restaurant name, something I've decided something like XYZ is the restaurant name, but the bank account name or everything will be on my name. So when I go for registration, no,
Yeah.
what is the name that I should enter there? FSSA or other Gumasta license?
No, you have to name. So, are you going for a restaurant or a home kitchen?
It's a restaurant, like non-AC, small restaurant.
Have you finalized the place?
Yes, sir. I have finalized the place.
Okay, you have taken it on rent?
No, no, it's my own place.
Acha, it's your own place. Okay. So all the licenses which are required, you have a restaurant association there nearby?
Not very sure, so I have to check.
Find out your restaurant association in Andhra Pradesh.
Mhm,
You must be having a restaurant association.
mhm,
And you can go there, register there, and you can then go for the licenses. By the way, different states have different rules for licenses. But I'll give you a relevance from Maharashtra. So Gumasta license we usually get from the city municipal corporation. So you can go in the municipal corporation and
mhm,
ask them how many types of licenses are required for a restaurant. So
mhm,
ideally in Mumbai we have the eating house license.
mhm.
Eating house 1, eating house 2, eating house 3, kind of like they have grade 1, grade 2, grade T. So that you have to go. If it is a AC restaurant, then you have to go for a grade 1 kind of a restaurant. If it is a non-AC simple restaurant, you can go for grade 3. And the license charges are depending on the grade. That is one. Gumasta license also you can go for. And you can form a company based on your restaurant's name. So let's say you come up. So last week, one of my students opened a restaurant called Nanda Gokula on the Mumbai Karnataka highway, Hubli. So Nanda Gokula restaurant you can create a proprietorship firm on that, where you are the proprietor, and so you can get hold of a chartered accountant who will help you to do that, and then go for all the license. Go for a FSSAI license. You can get it online. Go for a eating house license. Go for a Gumasta license. Now, after that, if you require any other license based on your location, you can go for that. So, if it's not a bar, right?
No, sir.
Then you can go for an eating house license, this like FSSAI license, and Gumasta. These three are very required. Then, if you are going to play music, then you require a police NOC. If not, then it's fine. And apart from that, what else you require? Fire NOC is required. Nowadays, it is compulsory, especially in Mumbai. After 2 years back, we had a big accident in Lower Parel where 7-8 customers were burnt alive because of that. So fire NOC is required, and you require a fire exit also. Fire exit and this thing. So fire NOC is required. That is also a license. Then, so I believe that answers your question. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I mean, just a little bit.
Tell me.
I'm more of like an takeaway, but only 1 or 2 rooms I'll be like serving as a restaurant, and it's non-AC one. So
Yeah. So you go to the municipal corporation.
and it's a village, sir. So where should I go?
Village, you go to the revenue department.
Okay, okay.
Or go to the Tashildar and ask them. The Prant officer is there, no? I don't know what you call the Prant officer in Andhra Pradesh, but the Tehsil department or the revenue department, you go there and you ask them that I want to come for the license. See, my resort and restaurant on the Mumbai Goa highway is also in a village. So we go to the local taluka and there we go to the revenue department and the government revenue department, and because the license money is taken by the revenue department.
Yes.
So they will tell you what all licenses you require. Go for the basic ones, because if it is non-AC restaurant, you don't require any hi-fi restaurants.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else, buddy?
I think so. Thank you.
How is the climate there?
It's okay. Sometimes
Is raining? Is it raining? I had been to Tirupati, Hyderabad. Earlier it was, I think, in Andhra Pradesh, no?
it is now also it is in Andhra Pradesh.
It is Andhra Pradesh, yeah. Tirumala and Tirupati. I love that place, by the way. I hope it helps you. Yeah. All the best.
Thank you so much.
God bless. God bless. Yeah. So one lovely thing which I love about the RLF coaching community, now we are close to, I think, 175, 200 people. Out of that, around 70, 80 people have already opened their outlets. So one of the best things I love about RLF coaching community, this is the second year which I have been doing this, is that I get to meet people from all over the world. So I have students in South Africa, Australia, last week in the mastermind, I spoke to a student who has opened a restaurant in Dubai. So that is one of the reasons why I love this now, this Andhra Pradesh. So, it's like, it's amazing when you get to meet and you get to work on businesses from people from all over the world. It's a different feeling altogether. I cannot explain it in words. So with that said, I hope Satya got what he wants. Type yes in the chat box, Satya. Suraj is asking, Gopal sir, how do you think inflation is going to affect restaurant business in coming couple of years? Suraj, don't worry about inflation, because inflation is always going to be there every year. But the menu rates also keep on increasing, because if let's say, for example, we feel the pinch of inflation, we increase our cost. So the food earlier, now misal pav in my restaurant we charge 80 rupees, but I think during my Dadaji time it was charged 1 rupee or 2 rupee. So the increase of the dish price also increases as the cost increase. So you don't have to worry about inflation. I hope that answers your question. Suraj, type yes in the chat box. Vinod is saying, do we require a POS software during the starting phase of takeaway business? Takeaway kitchen. You don't require that. But if you want to have online deliveries, then it is easy to have a POS which has got an integration with the Zomato Swiggy, so that the order comes directly in your system and you just have to print the bill and it comes out. Vinay is asking, जर कोणाला हॉटेल व्यवसायात ग्राउंड लेवल एक्सपिरियन्स हवा असेल तर काय करायला हवं? विनय, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू नीड टू, तुम्हाला RLF कोचिंग प्रोग्राम जॉईन करायला लागेल. आणि सेकंडली, खरंच तुम्हाला, इफ यू नीड टू हॅव ग्राउंड लेवल एक्सपिरियन्स, then you need to work in a restaurant for at least 6 months if you want a ground level experience. But that is not necessary actually. You can understand the business. A lot of students in my RLF coaching community and the RLF live program have studied and have opened their own restaurant and are successful at it. So what you require is a mentor who will guide you and who will sort out your problems when you get it on a week to week basis or on a month to month basis, and a strong way to open your own food business. If you don't have that, even if you work in a restaurant business, it is not going to help. Because that is just, there is a difference between driving a car and making a car. A mechanic can make a car and a driver can drive a car. A driver cannot make a car, but a maker can drive a car. I hope you get that distinction. Vinay, type yes in the chat box. So you can do a job in a restaurant, but that's not going to help, because opening a restaurant is a different skill set compared to working in a restaurant. Gautam is saying, what license and legal approval is needed if restaurant serves alcohol? You need FL license, foreign liquor or normal liquor license, FL2, FL3 licenses. You can go to the excise department, excise, EXCISE, and find out what all are the licenses needed for this thing. You usually require a liquor license for that. Riaz wants to come live. Riaz, let's talk to Riaz live. Riaz ji, please unmute yourself. Hi, how are you?
I'm well, sir. What about you?
I'm doing well. Where are you from, Riaz?
I'm from Odisha, sir.
Arey wah, from Odisha. Where from Odisha?
Odisha, Nabarangpur, sir.
Nabarangpur. I had been to Orissa, and there is a place where a client had called me. It is actually 7-8 hours away from the Puri. Puri is the airport, na?
Yes, sir.
नहीं, एयरपोर्ट कहाँ पे है वो आपका? इसमें अपना उड़ीसा का कैपिटल क्या है?
Bhubaneswar.
भुवनेश्वर. या भुवनेश्वर से some Pur was there. Sambalpur or something. Sambalpur.
Sambalpur,
yes.
Yes, sir.
So my client had taken me there, and after that I got to know that in between Sambalpur and Bhubaneswar there is an area where a lot of Maowadi people are there. So
Yes,
so that guy was
Naxal, sir.
Naxal,
Yes,
Naxal, sorry, not Maowadi, Naxal. So that driver was driving that Tata Sumo very fast. So I was like, why are you hurrying? We have a flight in the evening. The tension क्यों ले रहा है? So driver said कि भाई ये नक्सलवादी एरिया यहाँ पे लॉन्चर से उड़ाते हैं. So then I said to the driver, अबे भगा और भगा. फट गई मेरी. Anyways,
Yes.
glad to know about you. Tell me, Riaz, how can I help you?
Sir, actually, me and my father decided to open a restaurant.
Okay.
We had finalized a place
Huh.
where daily market is nearer, sir. Daily market.
Okay,
Where
daily
we
market, huh?
Yes, sir.
What is the daily market?
A daily market means where we get vegetables and also.
APMC wala.
No, sir. Local daily market.
Local daily market. Okay, huh. Tell me.
And we had a LIC office nearby
Acha, okay.
and women's college
Okay, very good.
and one new bank also set up, sir, in the nearby our that location.
Okay.
Hmm. And between our location, there are some cement godowns, that seats and all.
How many successful restaurants are there?
Here, sir.
How many successful restaurants are already there?
Mm, maybe 6 or 7 restaurants are running here, sir.
Okay, good.
Not a very big city. It's a town, sir. Nabrangpur is a town.
That's fine. That doesn't matter. So you can start being a CID and start. So you have not started it, right?
No, sir. Actually, we had finalized that place and working on it, sir.
Acha, finalize that place and working on it. Then probably on Friday, you have to check out the coaching program and think about joining. So
Yes, sir.
what is the status now? I mean, what is your question like?
A question is, sir, it's a place like uh, labor class people also is there, sir, nearby.
Okay.
Means that a daily market, so all are means they want 50, 60 rupees meals. That type of,
Thali.
yes, sir, and thali system.
Okay, that's good, na? That's good. So Monday to Friday or Saturday, there will be a lot of rush.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So the nearby there is a college also, sir. So which type of food we should serve, sir, there?
You can serve a mix of everything. You can serve breakfast, reasonable quality breakfast. You can serve thali system, 60, 70 rupees thali. And you can serve little bit of snacks also like hot dogs, sandwiches and all. So that the young people also come there, little bit of chaat. So
Yes, sir.
everything can be done with 5, 7 people. You don't require 30, 40 people to do that. So try to get in more or less all the types of target clientele which can give you money. So
Yes,
see, selling 50 to 70 rupees thali is not bad, but you have to be assured that you can get the volume, because if you are serving lesser amount priced products, lesser priced food items, the volume should be high. And if you are serving higher priced product like pizza, pasta, burger and all, then automatically the volume will be less, but you will make more money in the dish. So
yes,
you have to first finalize all these existing restaurants which are there. What are they targeting? So, for example, let's say 5 restaurants are targeting only thali people. So then you can maybe think about starting a pizza, burger, Chinese item restaurant and keep one thali so that you can get a little bit of those people also. How big is the place?
sir. It is 3 floors, sir. Ground floor, first floor, and second floor.
3 floors. Okay. It is your
Yes.
own place.
No, sir. Rented.
What is the rent?
20,000, sir.
For 3 floors, it is 20. What is the area?
Side, sir.
Yeah.
Width is 20 feet, sir. Front side.
And
Width is 20.
length?
Uh,
Length is
length-
20 feet.
No, sir. Width. Front side width.
Width is 20 feet. अंदर कितना है? ऐसा लंबा कितना है?
Lamba, sir. Or maybe 30, 40 feet, sir. 40 feet.
अच्छा, 40 by 20. मतलब
Yes.
800 square feet.
Yes, sir.
I would recommend you to have just ground and first floor. Second
Sir.
floor, I doubt people will go or not. But 800 plus 800 square feet is a beautiful thing. First floor, you can make sitting area.
Sir.
And ground floor, half of it you can make kitchen and half of it you can make sitting area with cash counter and all. You are going to
Yes.
go for a veg or non-veg?
Both, sir.
So non-veg, if you are going, go for unique items like momo or shawarma or Chinese Manchurian, dry Manchurian for snacks and all, so that you can attract younger generation population. See,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I forgot your name. What is your good name, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Riaz, what is the advantage of going after younger generation is younger generation को भूख ज्यादा लगती है because
Yes,
their
sir.
body is growing. So always go for a customer who is in between 18 to 35. If you go beyond 35 to 45, 50, first of all, they are very price conscious because they know how to handle money. 18 से लेके 35 तक जो एज ग्रुप रहता है उसमें दिमाग नहीं रहता किसी के पास. I mean, people have brains and all, but they are their father is giving them money, their mother is giving them money. They have not earned that money. And secondly, भूख ज्यादा लगती है because the body is growing. Your body stops growing at 25, 27 years, and then so that's one of the reasons why we are very, very thin during 25 के पहले, and 25, 30 के बाद पेट आने को चालू होता है, वजन बढ़ने को चालू होता है, because body stops growing and your body starts accumulating fats and all. So 18 to 35 के बीच में you can ज्यादा उनको चटपटा खाना ज्यादा अच्छा लगता है. मोमोज यू कैन गिव, चिकन बिरयानी दे दो, चिकन फ्राइड राइस दे दो, लॉलीपॉप दे दो, लॉलीपॉप बिरयानी बनाओ. सो डू समथिंग डिफरेंट एंड न्यू वेयर पीपल विल बी लाइक, अरे बाप रे, ये तो इधर मिलता है यार, ये तो दूसरी जगह किधर मिलता ही नहीं. एंड चिकन शॉर्मा, or you can give kebab shawarma, you can give, so there are a lot of things which you can give, but
Yes, sir.
so that will be kind of like a breakthrough in the market where nobody else is giving. So I always give the example of that foodie restaurant which I had set up in Chiploon. We started shawarma there for the first time. Public को मालूम ही नहीं था shawarma क्या है. So it's like day one से 100 shawarma, 200 shawarma जाने को चालू हुआ. The money which we earned in that shawarma was taking care of our whole restaurant's rent. So you have to come up with items like that. Ground floor, first floor, बस हो गया. Second floor, if you want, you can. I mean, 20,000 में आ रहा है तो अच्छी बात है, but I doubt it is going to. Second floor में कोई चल के जाता नहीं उतना.
We will use for our staff, sir. Second floor.
Yeah, you can use for your staff room. You can use the terrace for if you have banquets and all. अगर banquet करना है, party hall करना है तो कर सकते हो, या फिर staff room करो. And what is already sold in the market? In the existing restaurants, what are they selling?
Actually, a very crazy biryani, sir.
चिकन बिरयानी बेच रहे हैं और कुछ नहीं बेच रहे हैं. सो
ज्यादा वही
हाँ, तो आपको बाकी का नया नया आइटम देना है जिससे आपका यंग पॉपुलेशन आपकी तरफ अट्रैक्ट हो, एंड मेक अ नाइस साइनेज, मेक नाइस थिंग्स सो दैट पीपल गेट अट्रैक्टेड टुवर्ड्स इट. थोड़ा सा नया करने का, एंड स्टार्ट सेलिंग. आई थिंक यू विल मेक इट. कीप योर मेन्यू प्रिसाइज. 50 और 100 आइटम मत रखो, 20-25 आइटम में खत्म कर दो मेन्यू. आई थिंक दैट शुड वर्क. ओके.
in front of our location, there is a gym also, sir.
Yeah, then it's good ना. जिम में लोग वजन कम करते हैं और शाम को आके दबा के सब बटर पाव भाजी और वो सब खाते हैं, तो वो अच्छा है अपने लिए. So it's good. Give all chatpata item. Give items for youth and younger generation. That will make you far more money than selling to older generation. That is my prima facie take for it. Yeah.
How is this location? According to you, how is this location, sir?
Beautiful location. I think it is very potential. If you have what it takes, if it's a market location where there are a lot of things, I think you are ticking off all the points which I have spoken about today.
Yes, sir. I'm noting down, sir.
Yeah. So do the homework also. I would love to look at it and go for it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sure.
All the best. All the best. God bless.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
It's a beautiful question. Loved it. Hopefully we will have one restaurant of Riaz nearby. You're most welcome, everybody. Satya, Suraj, Vinay. And this is the last question which we will take of Sachin. Is an exhaust hood or gas bank required for kitchen? Absolutely required, Sachin. Exhaust hood is required so that it can take out the heat from the kitchen and throw out. Once your orders start increasing, the more the number of orders, the more the number of heat in the staff in the kitchen. The more the heat in the kitchen, the tired the staff becomes, and if he is tired, he will not do the work. So garam hawa nikal ke फेंकना बहुत जरूरी है. It is always required for you to remove the hot air and throw it out. Gas bank is required because you cannot work on 1 or 2 cylinders. If you want to really make the sale, you need multiple cylinders, and you need to have a lock and key so that nobody steals the cylinders and all, and the piping is done very properly. So I think gas bank and exhaust hood is compulsory if you want to really play this game for a longer period of time at a higher level. I hope that answers everybody's question. By the way, I have finished everybody's questions. Everybody loving this? Type love in the chat box. So we will finish today's session. Tomorrow, I'm going to cover the second most important pillar of the restaurant success trifecta. That is how to choose the right concept for your food business. And tomorrow, I have got a surprise activity for you. So tomorrow is kind of like a must which you should attend, because if you lose tomorrow's session, you are not going to know who is kind of like the villain of the movie. So, and tomorrow is kind of like the meat of the presentation of the live class. So you have to be here tomorrow. And secondly, I'm going to give you a simple activity to do, which is kind of like a surprise tomorrow. If you are not able to do it, that means, you know, you are not going to open a food business. It is not for you. But if you are able to do it, which most of the people are able to do in my RLF live class, live workshop, then it is a surety that you are made for this business. So in order to know what you are going to do, in order to know whether this food business is for you or no, you have to come tomorrow live and attend. So let's meet tomorrow. I hope today's session was helpful. I want everybody of you to do the homework. Ayan, Abhijit, Akash, Amol, Dheeraj, Gautam, Krishna, Mukesh, Randir, Riyaz, Sachin, Satya, Suraj, Swagata, Vaibhav, Vinay, and Vinod. Everybody should do the homework, and I want to see everybody's potential location and everything. Start thinking, you know, it's not about right or wrong. Nobody's going to judge you for it, but it is about you going through the process of starting to think like a restaurant owner. That is what I want you to do. Once you start thinking like a restaurant owner, automatically you will start behaving and you will start taking decisions accordingly. Yeah. So with that said, opening up the WhatsApp group now, do paste your homework. Give me half an hour or 45 minutes to post the recording, and we will meet on tomorrow at 6 o'clock, same time, same place, and take care of the next pillar of the live class, which is how to select the right location. Thank you, everybody. This is Gopal Kamath signing off. Yes, Mukesh, I will be posting in the WhatsApp group. Gopal Kamath signing off. Love from me. Bye-bye.